Holla back at me? Are we here? Hello. Oh my god, thank you, Mousie, for 85 months on the Yogscast channel. Wow. Amazing. Incredible. I think we're here. I think we're doing it.
Are we on?
We're on!
Like Donkey Kong.
Like Donkey Kong.
Oh shit.
Welcome back to Saturday Spookems. We are playing Phasma this week because we are teaching the wonderful writer Tom DeVille how to play Phasmophobia. We're going ghost hunting. I have been so excited to do this for a long time, and of course we have Garg, and Petrock is finally back.
The triumphant return. The return of the king.
Whoa. Somebody needs to investigate us, because we're all possessed.
Oh my god.
This is not the movement of a normal human being.
Excuse Hey, we're built different. That's why they send us in, okay? This is why we're the ones that get sent in. So, to give you a rundown of what we're gonna do, we are playing on Professional, which is, like, the 3rd level that we can play on. I despise playing on the lower difficulties because I think they're actually harder. Because
they 100% are harder, yeah.
Yeah, Garg is our walking encyclopedia, and we call him the professor.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Yes, no, it doesn't.
Oh.
How do I pick things
normally,
up?
E. Just crouch down and press E.
E?
So press C.
Here, catch this basketball.
And then press...
And then E.
You press G to throw shit.
And then F is to place...
E for ground.
Whoa!
There we go. So we're gonna start off on Professional, which
G
is
for ground.
the true easy mode.
That's how I remember. G for ground.
And we're gonna take you into Baby's first ghost hunt, and it's gonna be a great time. Alright, let's do this! Tom may survive.
Am I doing my usual run-in with stuff?
Have you got any tips for a beginner?
If you're unsure how to turn something off, throw it.
Yeah.
That is my best tip. Alright, so...
Wait a minute.
Before
I know nothing. This is...
Okay, so... This is all of our equipment.
Crucifix.
Yeah,
choice.
That's a good choice. So, we have EMFs, we have spirit boxes that help us talk to the ghosts, we have temperature thermometer thingies, books, dots, cameras, flashlights, and we also have night vision goggles, which do count as an electronic, but they're that awful high-pitched sound you just heard.
I forgot how bright that is in the van.
Yeah, it's really bright in the van.
I'm taking a crucifix and a Necronomicon. A Necronomicon over here.
Okay.
Oh, it's like a cute diary with like a fountain pen and everything.
Mm-hmm. Now you have a 4th slot specifically for a lighter that you can take in with you. But...
Oh, I like that. Where are the lighters?
Right there in front of you. Right here.
From playing in the forest, I've learned the lighters are very... Whoa, alright. Singeing my undercarriage there a little bit.
Yeah, it's right... It's right... Yeah, no, it's right here. They're on the little shelf right there.
How about a lantern? How about a...
Yeah, you can take in a lantern if you'd like. You need a lighter, though, still.
Okay.
I shall take in my usual...
I got a lighter. Oh, is that a glow stick?
That is meds. That is meds for when you go crazy.
There is a glow stick, though, if we play on chump mode.
Yeah, if we do play on chump mode. So we actually have the 2 monitors for once. This is crazy. I'm not used to this.
Oh yeah, monitors are a thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, we're not playing on right?
Every time.
Alright, do you have a flashlight?
Oh,
if so, use...
People are going in.
I know, we are.
How do I cycle through my stuff?
You can scroll. Do you have a flashlight? We should give you a flashlight.
No, I'm just
Come
going.
here.
I thought you said the ghost freaked out
out if you had electronics. I'm just going lighter,
if they're
baby.
if they're hunting, that is brave. I respect it.
Oh dear. It's very dark in here.
Y'all, I just got whispers in the front hallway. it's right in front of the door. the ghost is right here. That's the best.
I got a friend for you.
Oh, that'll be fun.
There you go. Enjoy, friend.
I'm going crucifix. I'm going crucifix mode. I can't see a thing actually. Someone please put a light on in this house.
We're working on that.
Default brightness settings probably want to be turned up.
Oh, yeah.
I think it defaults to like nothing.
I should have taught him that, yeah.
Yeah, it's pitch black.
Maybe turn that up, yeah.
So if you go to...
I have mine at 160%.
You are a terrible guide to this game.
What the fuck? Alright, oh, the ghost just touched a door, by the way. If you go to video...
I'm glad that the front door is still open.
Yeah, the door will close when it hunts. If you want to put the crucifix down on the ground, that will protect us.
What is all this business?
We have come! Come! Yo, we have come! Come, get a picture.
I'll get a cami.
Whoa, is that ghost jizz?
Yes, this is ghost jizz. So if you press J, I have mine rebound and I highly recommend that, but if you press J and go to evidence...
Oh, the picture just moved behind you on the floor.
Oh,
the picture
good.
frame just moved on the floor behind you. The ghost is behind you.
It sure is.
What are you doing?
Anybody grab a pick yet?
No.
Can I get a pick?
Go on.
Only
I have not.
Thank you.
Does this mean we'll get to see feet? Oh, yes.
Oh, I do have salt.
Yeah,
Hold on,
put some
lay
salt
the
down. Let's see some feet.
Feeties.
Yes! Look at that!
free.
Let's go! For free!
Feet picks.
For
Send
free.
What is this? Can I ask about the bunny? The sort of weird toy bunny that's lying on the floor?
This is a
with
cursed
what?
object. This is a cursed
should use
object.
it.
Each
Yeah.
map will have a cursed object. And if you
He's
pick it up and
floppy,
use
right?
it, it will lower your sanity and also possibly cause a hunt.
What? Why would you want to use it?
To cause a hunt.
Is that what you...
Oh, is it also the reason why the ghost is in the hallway?
No.
No,
Every map
I
has
brought
a
it round
curse.
to give to you guys.
Yeah, so every map has a cursed object. There's several cursed objects that can spawn on a map, and they spawn in particular locations. And they all
I'm gonna
do
leave
something
Spirit Box here,
specific.
if you want to give that a go.
Ooh, yeah. Tom, do you want to do the spirit box?
I don't know what that is.
You talk shit to the
Can I
ghost.
just ask? What happened? Yeah, let's talk shit to the ghost. Also, Mousie, what happens if a hunt happens?
So you're
What
gonna want to
should I
come here.
Whoa.
I did not have the camera ready.
So that was a event.
I just heard something.
So if you
Yeah.
come here,
That sounded like
this is
fun
a
experience.
closet. You're gonna come into the closet
Yeah.
and you're gonna hold the door shut. So you're gonna click on it and hold down
With
your mouse button,
oh, I see.
and then you're gonna hold that shut,
I
and
see.
then you wanna mute.
Is that how you hide from a ghost?
That's one of the ways. There's other
Do I need
there's
to
other
put the
options.
light? Do I need to put the lighter out?
It's hunting.
Do I need to put? It's hunting.
Well, it was.
And it just killed someone.
Rip.
Unprofessional, if somebody dies, the hunt ends. On Nightmare, the hunt continues on Nightmare. So, oh, we have writing! Oh, that's good. Oh, that's bad.
Died. What's bad? I'm
So-
leaving. This is this is not.
Okay, step outside.
I didn't
Everyone's sanity is at basically nothing. I don't
We
know
should go
what's
to the
happening.
van.
Well, apart from death, obviously.
So, we've been standing at...
Petrock die?
Petrock did, in fact, die. So, if you open up your journal...
Hey, I didn't die first, everybody.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. So,
Well, Petra.
so if you open up your journal with J,
Alright.
and you mark ultraviolet and ghostwriting, did we find the third evidence?
I've not seen a third evidence yet. No.
Okay.
Where do we mark? In ghost? In what
Evidence.
section?
the evidence section.
Evidence,
So
okay.
you
We
can
mark
ultraviolet
ghostwriting,
and ghostwriting, yes.
ultraviolet, and ghostwriting. Okay.
And
So
so
it could be a
we've-
poltergeist, a demon, or a myling.
I'm gonna say no to the demon because I feel like it would have eaten that crucifix from here to Kingdom Come.
What's a myling?
Myling
What is
is
a
a
myling?
very quiet
Eric.
ghost.
Creepy. It may have just done polter bombs. Just putting that out
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
What are polter bombs?
So,
there.
a
So
poltergeist... You go on.
has- Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you,
can.
you're the encyclopedia. You explain. You're good at this.
Okay, right. A polty can show itself by, if you have a little pile of items, it will just throw the whole lot, just fling everything, and we call that a polty bomb. And it usually shows up on the activity board as these giant spikes that you've got here.
Mm-hmm. So
It
on
looks like
professional...
it's bad.
Yeah. On professional, you get access to this activity board, and it looks like it's throwing a bunch of things, basically. So the way to check this is by making a polty pile for it to explode. If we're on Nightmare, we can actually go in and get the third piece of evidence. And Petrock is throwing a hammer. Petrock, do you have information?
Is
do you want to
Petrock
talk to
now
the
a
dead?
ghost?
Shall we talk to the
Yeah,
dead?
Ghost
let's
now?
explain.
Okay, so here's how to
Petrock is
speak to the
a
dead.
ghost.
No is the board. Yes is the TV. Maybe is this corner. Let's speak to the dead. Petrock, do you have information? No. Okay.
Oh, it was just saying hi, I guess.
Were you just saying hi? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He's hammered.
He's yeah.
Angry again.
Okay, so
did we want to take some meds?
We
to,
could do drugs.
Get our sanity up a little bit.
all right. Tom, would you like to come do drugs with us?
Oh, where are the meds? Yeah,
These
let's
little
do
yellow
some-
tubes.
let's do
The
some
little yellow
drugs.
jobbies.
So pick up some meds.
I never remember how. Hang on, what button is it to pick up stuff again?
E.
E.
And then
Okay, I
stab
got
yourself
some
with
meds.
right
It
click.
looks like a vape. I just threw it. That was right click, threw it away.
No.
Oh, my
you used it.
heartbeat is
And threw
going
it away.
crazy.
That's because you used it. So you
it's
basically
fine.
stabbed
It's-
yourself, and you've used
Oh,
it. So now you can
it's
see
that
your.
makeup animation. Okay.
So now your sanity
Yeah,
is going up.
you just hear a little noise.
Okay, got it.
So now
Oh
what
yeah,
we're
sanity
gonna do-
59.
So in order to get the third piece of evidence, since we can, if we think it's poltergeist, we need spirit box. Do you want to talk to the dead?
Let's go upstairs. Let's talk to the dead. What's
So,
the spirit box?
This
Where is
black
it?
box right in front of my face. And basically what you're gonna ask it is, where are you? How old are you? And what do you want? Those are how it responds to you. The trigger words are what, where, and how.
There are a whole bunch of other things, but it's an easy. Three
Well, I'm
questions
not going to do
remember.
that because I'm the noob. So I'm going to watch
All
you
right.
do that.
Come on then.
Can I just ask, how have you both got torches on your shoulders? What?
You have one as well, but you don't
do as
have.
well.
You haven't picked up an actual
Oh.
torch. It's right here.
It's until you actually use it, it's just sort of decorative. There's some layers of
Okay.
blank to this game that you just accept.
Okay.
You can
like
if you want.
everyone doing
The
limboing.
fold.
Limbo.
The iconic fold, yeah.
If you do
Fold,
want
yeah.
a flashlight, it's this, and the toggle for it is T.
I do not want a flashlight. I'm happy with my lighter, thank you. Are you trying to
Okay.
get me killed?
No! I take good care of my ducklings.
Back in the house. Get back in that house.
Come on then. Where are you?
What-
How old are you?
Goodness.
What do you want? Oh,
Ah,
hi!
there's-
Where are you?
Just kidding.
You want to kill
She
me?
died.
You want me to die? Are you free next
It's copper and
weekend?
white.
Hi, hello, where are you? How
They're killing.
how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Age, sex, location. Let's go.
Oh, the ghost is blowing you out.
Tom.
Oh shit.
I am amazed you're not dead.
I am surprised he isn't as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am
just
genuinely.
close the way out.
That was right next to us. That was. Was that quiet?
No.
Oh wait, no, it's a poltergeist.
Well, it can't be a myling. We know what it
We
is.
have 3.
Just to recap, what happened there is, Mousie, did you just antagonize the ghost until it decided to finish us off?
there's
so
a-
annoyed at you.
There's a hunt range where people's sanity gets below, as a team, when people's sanity gets below a certain point, Ghost can, not always, but can decide to try and hunt you.
Yeah, this is a good
what
chance
you
to
want to
explain
listen
that.
out for is you're listening out for the front door slamming. You're listening out for the ghost starting to make its noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something you get used to.
You learn
The front
over
door
time.
slam is the big teller, and all the lights starting
You're-
flickering is also a big teller.
Your insanity, Mousie, is gone again. You've got to look at that.
Hey,
Look
that's
at
because I
yourself.
used the spirit
Brain
box. That would be because I used the spirit box and I spoke to the ghost. But yeah, our average sanity is below the hunting threshold for a poltergeist. Some ghosts have a higher threshold, some have a lower threshold. It really depends on the ghost.
Most are
Okay.
50.
Yeah.
Unless it's a special ghost, most are 50%. So once the team sanity, the average sanity at the top there goes below 50, that's when it's sort of danger zone.
There is a lot of like
Okay.
little interesting hidden things that this game doesn't teach you that you just learn over time. And that's where I think the real game is learning all the fun little hidden personalities of the ghosts and things.
Yeah. All the ghosts have personalities, which is very cool.
Very, very cool. So if you would like to go to your journal and circle poltergeist.
Oh, we are definitely sure it's a poltergeist, are we?
We have all
100%.
three.
Yeah,
so
we've had all
on,
the evidence.
On professional, we have access to all 3
Oh, what
pieces
was-
of evidence.
So what was the last piece of evidence that we got
Spirit
there?
box.
Was it
spoke
the
to
ghost
me.
box?
Yes.
Spirit box.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
spoke to
so-
me.
That
Alright, okay.
little radio static sound where it's speaking through like radio chatter, that's a positive response on the spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I never heard what it said because Mousie kept on just talking at it all the time.
it was
Yeah.
saying it wanted
It's
to
just-
kill
she
me.
was just like,
Yeah.
was it like? Does it sound like this? I want to kill you.
Well, next time,
Was it like
Tom, we can give you the spirit box now that you've seen how it works.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
time to learn how to do. So make sure you have poltergeist circled.
I got poltergeist circled. Yes, I have
Circled.
done that. What else? Is that it? Are we? Is that our
Yeah.
report?
That's it.
That's
We're
our
on.
report.
We're on
We
professional.
only lost one.
We only
just
lost
lost
one.
Petrock. We just lost.
I mean, yeah,
We
nothing of value was lost really, so it's fine.
Whee!
Trying to hammer me again.
He went out very fast. Like when the ghost got him, it was just like boom, gun.
Welcome back.
Well done.
I've got some jobs
Well done,
ready for you.
everyone.
Man, I really enjoyed that 2-second hunt.
We
127
it
interactions. It touched that many
Well-
objects.
I counted 3 polty bombs whilst I was in the van.
Okay.
So
It was
yeah.
moving around a lot while you guys were in there talking.
All right. So how are you feeling after your first ghost hunt?
confused, but elated that I didn't die immediately.
Fantastic.
Didn't die at all.
You didn't die at all, exactly. Which is great because
Somehow.
now we're going to go to Sunny Meadows, which is home sweet home, really.
What's Sunny Meadows? It sounds like an old people's home. Is that?
Sunny
Is that
Meadows.
Big asylum.
It's one of the large maps of the game. So there's small maps, medium maps, and then there's the large maps. And Sunny Meadows is a large asylum. An abandoned asylum.
Once we
Okay, I'm
load
not
in,
happy about that.
I'm gonna BRB one sec when we load in.
Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Everyone ready up? It's time to go
Ah.
home.
Almost
in the
heaven.
menu, and it's suddenly you're there.
Sunny Meadows.
You ready, Tom?
Hey.
Are you ready?
I'm
Let's-
ready. Use. Oh, there's nothing here. What?
It's
Where's all
because
the
we're
gear?
still waiting on Petrock to load in.
All right. Oh, okay.
Okay, so I am gonna teach you some things. Yeah, this is.
Can you explain to me? Can,
What would you like
oh.
to know?
Can you explain to me what the grimoire is for? What is the grimoire
So,
with the
the grimoire,
My Spooky Diary?
If you look towards me right quick,
Yeah.
you basically. Oh, I can't put it on the floor in here. You put it on the ground,
Whoa,
and that's how
what
we
are you
get.
doing? Okay.
You basically put it on the ground for the ghost to write in. Ghost writing is a piece of evidence.
Oh yeah, all right, ghost writing. Okay.
So,
Okay.
because this is
Okay.
a large map, I tend to go in with the head cam, the night vision.
Oh, it's a Steam Deck. I'm gonna take the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good call. Good call.
I'm going to take a parabolic. I'm going to take EMF. What else should we take in? Cum detector, probably. All right, so I highly recommend my love, my beloved, my heart, my joy, my parabolic. This is my
What is the parabolic?
The parabolic microphone is
What does
my
it do?
favorite. So it basically listens for sounds.
Okay. What's so good
Or
about
peeping toms.
Okay.
So you basically
Bring a
hear.
big-
Actually, yes, you can.
Okay. go on.
If you would like to bring the camera, make sure you put it on a tripod and carry
Oh,
the
what's
tripod.
UV light. UV light.
UV light is this.
That's how you see the jizz stain.
This is how you see jizz.
Okay.
If we have jizz.
For a minute
that
there, it
is.
looked like you was just shining out of your hand, which was impressive. What's this thing then? That one looks good. I want
This
one of
is
these.
dots.
I'm taking it.
That's good because we put that
Ooh.
on a wall, and the ghost, we can see the ghost walk through it if we have dots evidence. I highly recommend taking some night vision goggles, and over
I'm
here.
taking crucifix.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see anything though, Mousie. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I want to see anything. I was happy in not seeing stuff last time, you know?
True.
I mean, that's
Worked
fair
out
and
well.
valid.
Innocence is bliss, you know?
All right, then stick with
Let's
me.
roll.
This is gonna be one where you're gonna want to stick together. What do you have on you? Just so
Oh.
because
I got the dots, I've got a crucifix, and I've got a lighter.
You can take one more item. I recommend either taking the book or the spirit box. Just so
Let's
that
do
we-
the book then.
Come on.
Let's do the book.
Let's do it.
I got the book.
Checking downstairs.
So,
Oh, Petrock's just going for it.
yep, we play this map a lot, not out of
Oh,
choice.
shit, this is fucking dark. This is very
I
dark.
told you.
I've immediately got lost.
Follow my voice.
Okay.
All right, let's see if
Oh,
we have
what
God
was
spot.
that?
Oh, that was our sacrificial bell ringing. Oh, we do have God spot. Okay, so this is a hiding spot. We'll remember that.
Oh, show me. Where is the hiding spot? I cannot see a thing in here. Alright, I can see your
Tom,
light.
come on. Over here. The door just locked. Stay here. Oh, we're good. Okay. Did y'all trigger a
Power
hunt?
downstairs, that's all. Sorry?
Did y'all trigger a hunt?
No?
No, okay, no, we're good. No, that was just me. Okay, we're good.
I'm looking for the power.
I could have swore I heard the door shut.
Looking for ghost boobs.
Okay. Come with me. I shall lead thee.
Did you go downstairs, Petrock? Because the power has to be down.
Tom,
Yeah, you're
this way.
power here, so. There's only one spot, it says above the stairs.
Tom, come here.
Going up to the blush. Oh, but that's the other staircase.
I can check down at the bottom of the stairs in the basement.
Thank you.
Come on, Tom.
The others, it has to be there.
We're gonna go make sure the power's on in the basement. Is someone already checking downstairs, by the way?
I have checked the whole left side of the downstairs.
Power is on. Alright, power's on. Welcome to... So this is what a power box looks like on this map. And we've turned it on. So welcome to the basement. There's 2 wings. There's right wing, and then there's left wing. It looks like...
I want to use this dots projector. Where would I put it up?
Well, we have to find the room first, and it goes on the wall.
Oh, where the haunting is.
Yeah, we need to find where the haunting is. And that's why I have my parabolic out. So right now I'm listening to see if the ghost is gonna whisper at me.
The jabronis.
Yeah, what's good? Ooh, I just heard it touch a door!
Anyone heard any,
I think I just heard a door touch.
whereabouts are you?
Basement, right side, whispers. Whispering. Yeah, it's definitely this way.
Wasn't in that. It wasn't in that.
I keep hearing it touch something.
Alone and you've got nowhere to go. You can
Right here.
Oh, it's here. You can
Oh, it's in-
always go downstairs.
Oh, it's in the electrocution
There's like a-
room. Oh, good. It's in
There's
the
a lot of blood.
There certainly is. So now what you're going to want to do is put the dots on the wall.
Okay, can you shine on the wall for me so I can see it? Because like I'm blind at the moment.
If only you'd taken that flashlight.
No, I'm. All right. So how do I?
Did you ever turn up your brightness, by the way? Because you'll want to do that.
No, I should do that.
F.
All right. So I put it in
But
my
it's
hand.
on
How do I stick it on the wall? Because
F.
it's not. Do I press E?
F.
F.
You did
All
it.
right, got it.
Congratulations. I'm going to turn on the wing lights.
I was going to say, it's probably worth putting your brightness to... I have mine at 170.
Oh,
which
yes.
is a good balance.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna try doing that now.
Ooh, it just threw something.
Options.
Coming back with a camera and some salt.
I'm going to try and find hiding, because when you're in one of the wings here on Sunny Meadows, the doors lock and we're stuck in the wing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's great. That's not
Okay, the
it.
brightness is a lot better now. Thank you.
Welcome to the squish room.
Quick time! I'm going to go get stuff.
I can hear what sounds like footsteps. and
Yeah.
bright breathing there.
Nope. We are currently looking for hiding. In here, I think we can technically hide behind this chair. So back here.
Right about 68
Will that work?
average
Yep.
sanity.
So you've crouched down, make sure your electronics are all off,
Going back for some more salt.
and also your mic's muted, and yeah, this is a hiding spot.
Do we
Man,
have any
those
other-
don't look very hard.
Oh, they do. They can still find you.
Oh,
Our hiding spot, the closest one is the office in this wing, behind the chair.
I mean, there's always the cheese.
The cheese is upstairs, though.
What's the cheese?
So there's a cheese spot on this map, and it's the upstairs right wing.
That's a shame.
It's basically a spot where you can hide, and the ghost can't physically reach you. Oh,
Oh.
did it just speak to you?
Yeah, we have spirit bar.
Alright, let's mark spirit box. Alright. Oh yeah, look, it's talking. Do you hear it?
Uh.
Come on.
This an elderly
I heard
victim
something.
and it's far away.
It's an elderly victim and it's far away. We're coming back. Height.
Still not dipping below 1 degree.
Okay, so we don't have freezing yet.
Doesn't look like that's likely at this stage.
What are you guys doing here?
I'm laying out some salt, so to see if the ghosty steps in it. And then I can take some sweet pics to upload to my Pinterest account.
Sweet pics. That's a
Nice.
EMF 5.
Okay,
You got
so
EMF 5. Do you hear? Do you hear how it makes that weird double dip noise? If you look on there, it's got an EMF 5 on it. We've got
slay.
EMF 5, and we've got.
Damn, look at all those 3-star salt pics.
So right
Oh, it's
now,
not a wraith. We know that.
no, because it walked through the
Damn.
salt.
Oh, more than salt pics.
We
So
should.
the reason we know it's not a wraith is because wraiths cannot step through salt, and this ghost has very much stepped through salt. So we're down to 2 basically. We're down to spirit.
My job is done. I have collected all 3-star pictures. You're welcome.
Thank
Nice.
you. The hero we need. So we need to narrow it down to spirit and twins.
Oh, shall we use the, I've got the book. Should we put the
Oh
book
yeah,
down?
put the book down, definitely.
Yes. It's almost
Crouch
certainly
down
going
and
to the
F.
What's sorry, we've got
There you go.
EMF 5.
Nice.
It's either going to be ghost writing or freezing. So the fact that it hasn't been freezing yet,
It's very telling.
I'll keep an eye on it though.
Important to note that if you do die, you still get money for getting the ghost correct. So,
Yes.
don't be disparaged if you die. Just make sure you have the ghost marked correctly in the journal.
Right, the book goes.
Just goes to it goes to my children in the game. It goes to
Bro, about that,
The,
there's actually a
total-
clause in the company that it all goes to us.
actually, I've got a double clause that says it goes to a tortoise sanctuary. Sorry guys.
Shit. Damn.
That's our front.
Nothing's happening with the book.
Yeah.
It could take a little bit of time as well. I'm continuing to scan with the thermo. Goes down to 1 and then starts climbing it.
It loves touching this door.
Knob it off. Gotta fucking get a knob.
Time to go.
Oh.
Hunt is over. So when the hunt ends, all the lights will go off, and you'll be able to use light switches again. It's a neat little tip for
I
you.
got a smudge off. I was gonna say, did you get a smudge off? Sweet.
Slay.
I sure did. Alright.
That seemed very
fuck off
normal.
For 5 minutes. It's hard to tell, because it basically spent its whole time in line of sight for the most part, so I'm not sure.
Alright, so this is where I explain what all of that meant. So the ghosts have speeds to which... Oh, writing. We just got ghost writing. It's spirit. We can
that
leave.
settles that.
We did it. It
As
wrote in the book.
expected.
We can go now.
What is the evidence?
Alright,
Alright, what is the evidence?
Let's leave the building and then I'll give that to you.
Part of the plan.
Follow me. This way. So, I'll explain while we walk back to the van. Each ghost can have like a speed at which it hunts. And we were saying, basically talking about the ghosts sounding very normal speed. But if some ghosts, if they have line of sight of you, we've done the sacrificial bell. Some ghosts, when they have line of sight
What is
of
the
you, they'll
sacrifice? Hang on.
Oh, it's just a bell that we ring. This map
Okay.
happens to have a bell in
You
the
have to
desk.
hit it every time.
Yeah, it's a
Thing
good
for
luck
luck.
thing. Some ghosts, when they get line of sight of you, they'll speed up on you.
Oh man, all the objectives,
Okay.
all the 3-star photos.
Did we just get a perfect game?
No bone. No
Perfect,
bone.
bro.
Oh, no bone!
Oh,
Okay, I'm
no
not-
bone.
Not looking for a bone.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
What was the
Oh,
other
plus ratio,
evidence?
plus no bone.
So we had EMF 5, ghost writing,
Mhm.
and spirit box, which means it's a spirit.
Okay, so it was a spirit.
Yep. So you'll want to make sure you
Okay.
have spirit circled.
Okay.
You did good. You didn't die. You're doing great.
Again.
I
I
know.
die
did
again,
rescue
yeah.
him a little bit, but yes, he survived.
Oh, did you
Oh,
smudge
how
him?
did you rescue me?
Arg,
Yeah, I
Arg,
stayed back
got
to
down,
to
Mr.
smudge
President.
you so you could survive.
Oh, no, say that again, because I did. Say that again?
Because I stayed back to smudge the ghost for you so you could get out.
Yeah, well, when we had to run from the hunt.
Yeah.
Because I was going, I clocked it later than you guys, so I was very behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
appreciate
I
that.
stayed behind and rescued you so you could get out.
Using
So,
a smudge stick
Aw.
basically stuns the ghost and slows it down for a bit.
also, your sprint is
okay.
shift.
Yes, I figured that out at the last minute.
Yeah,
okay.
but you can only sprint 5 feet before you collapse of exhaustion. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me IRL.
So true. So true. All right, we got the ghosts. Mark them and...
Are we all marked? Are we all marked?
We
for
sure
spirit?
are. Ship
Yes, yes.
it. Oh, this is exciting. You survived Sunny Meadows.
No deaths yet.
Woo!
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Money, 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 money.
Money, money, money,
That's
money,
a
money.
lot of cash.
Big money.
Big money. So, how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I've got time for one more hunt.
All right, it's time for Nightmare.
Nightmare time.
Fridge view. Fridge view. Fridge view.
view. Fridge view. Yeah, I agree. Nightmare fridge view is good. All right, so Nightmare. Nightmare is a bit different. We will not have access to 2 screens in the van. We only get 2 pieces of evidence, because one piece of evidence will be obscured, which means we'll have to rely on our knowledge of the ghosts to figure out what it is. Also, if it hunts and then kills someone, it continues hunting. It even gets extended.
Till everyone's dead.
Till everyone's dead, yes.
So what do you... So it will continue to hunt until it gets bored? Like, if we hide enough, will it still go away?
It'll go away,
Or,
yeah.
It
It'll
will,
eventually.
yeah, you hide as usual, but if it kills someone, it will extend the hunt timer, and will continue to hunt.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yee, I'm so
It just
excited.
adds a little bit more spice, a little bit more danger, and a little bit more mystery.
Yay!
Alright, we
Welcome to Fridge View, aka Ridgeview Court. The reason this is called
my
Fridge
favorite
View
map.
is because you can hide behind the fridge on this map.
And you almost never die.
Almost.
You just let
Almost.
some
Alright,
Pop-Tarts
I'm
in front of
taking
the
more
ghost.
stuff this time round.
Yay!
You happy for me to go in and start looking?
Go on, do it. So to turn on the
doing
night
it.
vision goggles, you need to hold
Reach
down
clear.
T. That's how you toggle them.
Ooh.
Same way to turn it
And
off.
the ghost-
Yes, the ghost will see
Do they
it.
work the same way that the ghost will be
Good news,
pissed off
Mousie,
with
we have
you
the
if you're
tarot
wearing them?
cards.
During a hunt. They're only pissed off with you using
Yeah.
electronics during the
I think
hunt.
it's obvious who's going to be using those.
Okay.
So you can use it when you're just out and about. Welcome to Fridge View. Oh, we also have to find. Have we found power? If there was giggling, that means it touched a children's toy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think
Come
one of the things
upstairs.
in the game that's, yeah, upstairs, purple bedroom.
Hey, I love it when it touches the children's toys.
One thing that messes me up
It is
still on this
here.
game, despite everything.
Is it here?
I hate
What?
it.
What is happening?
Yeah.
It
So
do be here.
when the ghost touches a toy, it like the sound of children
The
giggling
little
happens.
stuffed toys. These little.
You'll hear a
Okay.
Can't get on.
Alright, I got the writing book again. I'm gonna drop it.
I am.
Oh! You're very limber.
Thank you. I'm gonna search
I'm gonna
for
go
hiding.
get, Oh, well, how about that closet right there?
There's stuff in it, so sometimes
Oh,
closets will be blocked. There
okay.
we go. We have one at the end of the hallway.
Door touch, no fingerprints.
Okay, noted. So, if we get fingerprints again, then we know it's an Obake.
Yeah.
Oh, did it just turn on the lights here?
I'm breathing.
I don't think it was us. I don't know.
Did you turn on these lights?
There's
Hmm.
a kid's toy in
I
the
don't know.
bathroom.
Where's Petrock? Is he around?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This must have been what it moved. Oh, mannequins can move around as well. Fun fact.
Okay, that's fun.
Isn't it? Oh. Oh. Door touch. No fingerprints. I don't think we're gonna be getting UV. It's also walked through the salt, so it is not a wraith. We can block off wraith. Ooh! EMF 5.
It just
EMF
throw the
5.
book or...
I believe it did throw the book, which means we're not getting ghostwriting. It did throw the book, so no ghostwriting, and EMF 5, in case you didn't hear.
I did, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so
No upflakes.
no upflakes. So
No
what they
upflakes,
mean by upflakes is when you look through the camera into a room, there can be like a little ghost orb floating around.
Oh yeah.
We're not seeing that, so we're not getting writing. We're not getting ultraviolet. We're getting a lot of EMF
I noticed
5.
the air is cold. The air looks cold. Is that significant?
It just means that this is the room that the ghost is in. The temperature needs
Okay.
to
But
be...
it used to be.
Book is flying around.
Yeah.
Why are these 2-star just salt photos? What?
Is it because you're taking pictures of Tom's feet?
Oh, I got feet
From what I
pics
see, it
in my
looks like you're
salt.
just out of center.
Well, the 3 stars fucked.
I really don't like the fact that Goryo is on the table. That does not fill me with joy.
Let me see if I can pull it out with this.
Oh, everyone out of the room? So on Nightmare, people need to leave the room in order for...
Are you here? Are you close?
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
What is going on?
Yay.
What
Good
just
news, no
happened?
Goryo.
So on Nightmare, everyone needs to leave the room and the lights need to be off while somebody uses the spirit box.
So on,
It's the
on
twins.
lower difficulties,
Easy peasy.
it'll tell you. On lower difficulties, it'll tell you whether the ghost will respond to anybody in the room or if it just needs to be one person in the room. On higher difficulties, you don't know. So you just clear the room out just in case.
Oh, okay.
So the two pieces of
What is
evidence.
Goryo, by the way?
Goryo is a type of ghost that is a bitch in the ass. Yeah. It's a
Nice.
pain in the fucking ass, is what it is.
Boring and rubbish, and I hate him, and it's
Oh,
trying to
what was
kill
that?
us.
And the ghost is trying to
what
kill
was
us.
that?
Crucifix going
I
off.
just stopped the hunt.
It just tried to hunt us, basically.
I'm gonna get another crucifix.
So we have two
Time to get a
pieces of.
Did
smudge.
that happen or not?
No, the
Did the hunt
crucifix.
happen?
No, the crucifix burned, which means it tried to hunt, but it couldn't because the crucifix saved us.
Oh.
That's why you put a
okay.
crucifix down. But the ghost could move out of the range of the crucifix and then hunt, which means it is trying to do that right now. Oh,
Yeah, stuff is going off. Lights just went off, flickered on.
let's step outside real quick. And I'll explain where we're at.
I'm
So,
going to go
if
grab
you...
your smudges.
I am going to teach him how to smudge, actually. That's exactly what
So
we're
on
doing.
the journal,
Yes.
what can we tick off?
We can
I've got
tick off
level
EMF.
5.
And spirit box. Those are
Yeah.
the only two pieces of evidence that we're gonna get, because the third piece of evidence is going
Okay.
to be obscured, which means we have to rely
Okay.
on our knowledge of the ghost to figure out if it's a spirit or the twins. We know it's not the wraith
Yeah.
because it walks
Not a
through the
wraith
salt.
because they go through salt. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna get a smudge. So you see these things hanging right here. Oh, it's hunting.
Oh.
We're fine.
We're alright.
Yeah, we're all right.
It doesn't sound good. It sounds pissed.
This actually is helpful because if I listen to the way it walks,
What?
it's fast.
What does that mean?
They just smudged it. I'll explain 1 second.
So what do you use to smudge?
This thing right
What do I
here,
use
this
to
little
Device.
clerical looking thing. So I have the tier 3
Oh, like
smudge.
a little.
On lower difficulties, they look like
Okay.
little sage bundles. And you need to be like within range of the
Okay.
ghost in order to use it. So we just heard the ghost walking. Remember how I told you that some ghosts have like a
Yeah.
speed thing?
He's dead.
Petrock died!
What?
He's sure
Dan.
dead.
He did. Did it have line of sight of you that whole time, or...
Well, it did a little bit whilst it was going for Petrock, so I'm not sure on the speed. I think it might be a spirit. I don't have a timer though.
Really? Okay. Oh, shit. Do you know when you smudged it about?
The very beginning of the hunt.
Well, shit. Okay, so everything I said about speed goes
Yeah, I
out the
don't play
window
with
now.
timers, unfortunately.
So the way we have to determine whether or not this is a spirit or the twins, a spirit will not hunt for like a full 180
I'll be
seconds.
here though, so if it hunts again, I'll listen out the second time.
Well, I mean, if it hunts within the 180, then we know.
Yeah, but I just don't know when that is.
Fair, actually. Hi, Petrock. Do you have information from the Beyond? Maybe. It had line of sight of you, so I don't know how much speed matters. Because it was getting groovy on your ass, not gonna lie. Yeah. We're gonna try and get another hunt and see if we can work it out from there. Yeah, so the twins has 2 speeds. It can either be slow or it can be a little bit fast. And then spirit cannot hunt for 180 seconds after it's been smudged. So either this is going to be like 2 minutes of sitting here and waiting, and then it will finally hunt, and that's how we'll know it's a spirit, or, you know, we wait and listen for the hunt again and see if it's fast or slow. If it's either fast or slow. And what was the song that Garg... Hey Garg, what song do you use to teach the regular speed of a ghost?
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Oh, it's hunting.
Oh, I can hear it.
That's because we put a sound sensor on. I don't hear it walking. I just hear it groaning. Bro, get a grip. Walk.
He's just
He's
very
just
moody.
breathing.
Very.
Did we learn anything from that?
Pretty sure that's normal still, I'll be honest.
Really?
I think so.
Dog, are you just hiding behind in the closet? Like, I just want to know what you're doing in there.
He's
so
hiding behind
curious.
the fridge. So basically, he's hiding out inside.
How do I
of the...
switch on the? How do I switch on the
Right
mic?
click.
The mic. Ah, all right, cool. I'm playing with toys. I'm going in to look at the fridge.
Oh, it's hunting.
Oh, never mind.
We can't get in.
That was less than 180 degrees.
Seconds.
180 seconds.
Well, I don't
That
know
was
if it
less, for
smudged it
sure.
last time. Oh, look, there's the ghost.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Ollie, Ollie, Ollie,
Oh, there, I
Ollie,
saw
oxen
something.
free! I don't think you're gonna hear us through the...
Are you antagonizing the ghost, Mousie?
Listen. Wow. That
Oh,
was
I
fast.
just saw something there.
Hi.
Can you not? Oh, that's Garg. That was Garg. Can you not see what it is? Wait, if you see it, can you not identify it, or is that
No.
not the way to
Can.
do it?
Sometimes
But
you
not
can.
these two.
Some ghosts have a particular blink speed. One ghost actually shapeshifts, but if you see,
Oh,
there's like
okay.
a few different models that the ghost can be, but yeah.
This is
Okay.
unfortunately a boring spirit again, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
Sure.
a spirit.
Do you wanna come in for a hunt maybe and try and smudge?
Oh yeah,
Just for
since
fun,
Not
so you still got
really.
your smudge on you.
Not really, but
it's worth doing if it's your last go. Let's be honest.
show me the fridge where you're hiding behind. Can I just see
Yeah.
the fridge that you're hiding behind?
Mhm.
You just
Oh,
tuck
this is
yourself
your
into this
safe-
corner here, yeah.
Right.
So-
Okay.
hunting.
You get get your
Oh.
smudge out.
It's hunting. All right. I've got it
Yeah.
out. What do I press?
You're gonna right click once
What
it's
do I
close
press?
to you. Right click once it's close to you.
How do you know it's close to you? Fuck. How do you know it's close to you? Oh, it got me!
Tom! Mike! God damn it!
Did it get you as well?
Yes, because you led it to our hiding
Wait, he
spot.
lived?
No, he's dead.
By talk.
Oh, why do you guys sound
How
so
did I lead it to you?
You talked on the mic. It can hear you. The ghost can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, now you sound.
Well, look.
Welcome
listen, I
to the land of
experienced
the
my
dead
first
people.
death.
You sure
Whoa,
did.
did everyone die?
No, Garga's
Did
still
everyone
Yes.
alive.
die?
Target's still alive. Yeah, so that's how you know if it's close to you. Yeah.
I love that he
Listen, I
did correctly
feel
smudge
like I
it. He did correctly smudge it, and then
He did? It got
he
stunned?
shouted. Yeah, it got stunned, and then I smudged
I
it
was
as well
throwing
just
my
to be
kettle
sure.
to try to show the ghost where you were, and it worked.
Yeah. And then he got into the hiding spot and then shouted
Bye.
down the mic.
Okay, well, I'm going
I
spirit.
wanted to know how to use
Can you
the thing.
confirm that everyone's circled it in the afterlife?
Make sure you circle
I'll,
spirit.
I did. I did circle, yes.
You did
It's
well.
done.
You used it correctly. It was
I'm
smoking.
gonna see if I can.
Beautiful. I'm glad. I feel like I've had some experiences. Oh, we just left Petrock.
No. Guard just glitched out of the van.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
What happened?
So he did learn how to smudge. He smudged correctly.
It was very funny to watch.
He smudged correctly, and then he got into the hiding spot and shouted down the mic. How did I do it correctly? Did I smudge?
How do I know if it's close?
How do I know if it's close?
Well, I mean,
And then they both died.
Hans failed
Would have
successfully.
been useful. That would have been useful to tell me before that, you know?
I was trying to get your guys' attention for like 5 minutes.
It was
'cause
funnier
I saw
this
it
way, though,
hunting,
let's be
and it was a
honest.
spirit.
Funny
So-
is better than more useful.
So next time, just
Oh,
wait till
I
you
lost
see it.
50%. I died.
Nah, it's okay. Next time, if you wait until you see the ghost and then press it, you'll be fine. It'll stun it. The ghost will get confused and run around in circles, and it will give you time to run away and hide. The thing to remember
Right.
is that when you smudge, the ghost, once it's done being smudged and stunned, it will go back to where it was smudged and search that area. So you don't want to smudge if
Oh,
you're
I
in
see.
a hiding spot.
Oh, which is what we did.
No, you
That's what we
smudged
did, isn't
outside
it?
of it.
No,
No.
you smudged in the kitchen, which was technically outside the hiding spot.
Okay.
And
But
then
you were good.
I didn't. You know what? I still have not seen a ghost apart from the hands that killed me. I've still not seen. But so I didn't know what I was even looking for. But yeah, that was an experience for sure.
How do you
Um,
feel?
I feel like I have had my first taste of ghost hunting. I feel like I've graduated. I've started playing with some of the toys, and I like them.
Oh yeah.
It's cool. It's very cool. I
true,
get the
level
love
8.
for this game.
I can't wait for
I
you
get
to
the
get
love for it.
to use the other objects, like the Luigi board.
The cursed objects.
Oh,
Yeah, the curse
They're all
objects.
back here. You can see what the. You can see what the. you should be
Monkey's
able to see the
paw,
things.
summoning circle. There's tarot cards that you can play with.
You didn't pull any of the tarot cards on the other map.
Did we have tarot
No,
cards?
we had
Yeah.
tarot cards on that one, yeah, but then
I was waiting for you guys to pull them.
which is more fun.
There's plenty of time to
Wow.
learn all of that, though, especially given that it's coming
Absolutely.
to console. I can't wait to show you more.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be picking it up. I'm gonna be picking it up and playing it on console for sure. I'm very excited about it. But I'm gonna head off now. Is that all right?
That's fine. Thank you for coming on and learning
Have
how
you got
to ghost hunt.
Listen, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see how bendy our characters are in this game as well. I like any game where you can limbo. I'm into it. So yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for introducing me. I've gone into the shop randomly. I don't know why. It's taken me into the.
If you press spacebar,
Equipment
it'll
shop.
take you out of the menus entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to buy the
Get me
battle
out of
pass.
this shop.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. It was trying to get me with the monetizations. Oh, look at all your bones. I didn't see these before. These are neat. You just got a lot of weird souvenirs here, Mousie.
These are my trophies.
Let's.
And there's
that's
some
your bomb
missing here,
right
Mousie.
there.
Oh my god, shut up! I'll do the fucking the asylum challenge at some point. Oh my god. Someday.
All right,
Wonder.
guys.
Mommy and
Well,
Daddy are fighting.
I'm gonna. I'm out, but I will see you soon. Thank you so much.
ya,
Thank you so
thank
much. I had a
you.
blast.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Bye. Bye.
So that was Tom. You can find him over at. Hold on. How do I do this?
Oh shit, I can fit back here.
How do I
Oh,
do
yeah.
this shout out
Little-
command?
Meet
Shout
me behind
out
the trophy shelves for you know what.
Devilligan. There we go. There's Tom's channel if you want to check him out. He is like I said, a horror writer, and yeah, he's done a lot of cool stuff, and pretty cool dude. Very glad we finally got him on to learn Phasmo. Shall we ping Sean and see if he's down to
Are we
join us?
continuing the hunting?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, we're here.
Okay, while we wait Sean, I will grab some cereal.
Grab a drink. You know what? I'll grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Because I definitely
Good
need
chat.
coffee. Chat, don't burn down the place. I keep putting on the kettle and forgetting I put it on. Sorry, I was getting a drink. Did Devilligan go? Yes, he went off. He could only stay for an hour, but he got to play a few maps, and it was a good time. But yeah, he's gone off to get ready for his stream in a little bit. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Been waiting to finally teach him how to play for a long time. I'm very excited to relearn the game from a controller console standpoint, and see how that goes. I think that'll be very, very interesting. Get the hosts on chat. Yeah, the kettle is going. Everyone's getting a drink real quick. I'm just bad with forgetting. I'm just as bad with forgetting to get the kettle on. I keep putting the kettle on and forgetting that it's on. I've literally had this coffee sitting there since this morning. Listen. No fires. That was fun. I'm very happy he had a good time.
On Bick. Just seeing if
Sean
any of
is
the
out.
regulars are up for being a fourth.
True, fair, valid. We could also go into a map while we wait for any of them. Oh wait, Petrock is not back. So we get a double bill of Tom tonight. You do. He's from my understanding, my knowledge, he does happen to be streaming later this evening. So if you want to check out what he does over on his neck of the woods, be sure to go and check him out. He sometimes drinks horrifying things. Why? Not sure why, but it's very cursed. La 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 la. How close am I? I'm 2 levels off having everything unlocked again. He's playing some more Silent Hill 2 tonight? Well, there you go. He swears he's not a masochist. Petrock! Wake up!
Very available in about 15 to 20 minutes.
That's a map if Petrock gets his ass back.
Oh, hello?
Hi, we're gonna do a
This
map while we
guy.
wait for Ari.
Oh, okay.
Oh good! Woodwind! I'm so glad.
I'm Shitwind.
Yeah, at least Tom didn't have to experience this map.
I was in the tower
No,
taking a
terrible
tumble.
map.
Awful map. And it's raining.
MF5.
Wow.
Where are you at?
Right here on this tent flap. It's doing more tent flaps. Another one here.
Any come?
Busy boy.
No come.
That's normal.
Ah, that's my
Bob!
Saturday ruined.
Bob, thank you for 95
Yeah,
months.
that's definitely it. Temp is not moving at all, though.
All right. Oh, I still have this on, yeah. Still no cum. I officially feel that cum is unlikely.
Well, not when you're a man.
My Saturday ruined. It's right here. I was just like an inch away from hitting the threshold.
Oh, is it the levers area?
Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Okay, well, that's looking unlikely.
I'm not even getting any whispers. Bit of an antisocial ghost, you know what I mean? Oh, there we go, whispers.
I'll be in the van for a small moment.
Alright, it's up to us. Time to be
I'm grabbing
heroes.
salt.
But we're not gonna get any cum.
Salt and vinegar potato chips.
Where is hiding? Oh shit!
Alright, I was eating a fucking... I was eating a piece of cereal that made me shit my pants.
Oh my god! Girl! She broke the
Get
lights.
one last salt. I never grabbed a light either. Grabbed a salt and
She's doing.
Next person who goes in, can you stop the dots where it's pointing towards the
Oh,
camera?
just through the book.
It also just through the book, I think.
Yeah.
Stop the dots. What? When it's pointing where? Where you can pause the dots. Can you pause it so it's where it's towards the camera, like now? Yeah. Let me put down this salt real quick. Just tell me when to pause it. Where is it? Here we go. When it goes to the next side. Ow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ghostface is from Supernatural. We really don't have much hiding, do we?
Might have put this a little too far forward.
Is that EMF 5? EMF 5.
Yeah, we got that in.
EMF 5. Oh, why didn't anyone say anything? Well, it's not a wraith.
I'm gonna check temp again.
Still not freezing. Still know nothing, which is why I'm
Sorry.
concerned.
Define concern.
Is there hiding behind the
On evidence. No, I'm sad.
Oh yeah. Mousie, we got hiding back.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Don't shades appear as little shadowy things more often?
They can do, but
No
they
glow.
almost never appear on you as well, so
Ah, yeah, okay.
not too worried about shade.
Do we want to try and wait for
more-
dots if
That's why I'm
there's
here,
up
yeah.
on cams?
It keeps popping up
But
behind us.
that's my fear.
Who needs hiding when you have a picnic
mean, you-
table?
You know this map, you know how much ghosts root around, and it kind of hasn't really.
I could probably angle another dots on that far pillar and we can get the backside too.
I mean, I feel like it'd be almost better to just put it on the other area where it keeps showing up on our ass. If you take dots, I'll take another camera.
Yeah, it keeps popping up there for
It just
interaction, so
it just
it's not-
burnt the crucifix.
Oh, did it? I just dropped my fucking camera. God damn it.
Right, carry on.
Yeah, put it there. Hurry up and get on out of there. That's a good wide angle. Oh my god, get out of there.
I just smoked anyway.
That's a nice wide angle. We like that.
Thing is, I'm struggling to think what else. If it's not dots, I can't really think of what else it could really realistically be.
We didn't get
I
spirit
suppose we
box,
haven't
did
had
we?
much.
I was gonna say, has anyone tried Spirit Box?
He did earlier.
I have, but that's assuming it's in that area. Maybe needs a more wider go. UV, I suppose we haven't had much chance to check that
I've
either.
been checking the tents constantly. There's been no comment,
Oh,
and
then,
there's
yeah,
the salt as well. No feet.
Okay.
So like, you're
Guys,
right.
it's either
dots
going to be
is-
dots or maybe spirit box.
I just checked freezing like 2 minutes ago and it still hadn't crossed, so. But sometimes it takes a long time for freezing, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't discount it for sure.
Yeah, I'll check next time we go in. I'll check and see if it's still is at the threshold or not.
I'm just finishing my pizza. Don't mind me.
What'd you get?
Just a little oven jobby. Nothing mad.
Sometimes they're the best though.
Nice.
Oh, I love them.
The way this ghost is giving us nothing.
You got stuffed crust?
I usually do, but not today. Just a classic. Meat feast.
Go on, girl, give us nothing. Miss Shannon Anderson.
What a skank.
Shannon. Oh.
Ugh.
Come on, I know. Cool,
What a
Shannon. It's
bitch,
very
am
funny.
I right? Shannon, you bitch.
Send it to me, Rachel.
Right, I'm gonna go in. Wish me
Yeah.
luck.
Oh, we need to get a photo too.
Capture a photo of the ghost.
Challenge level impossible when we can't even see the ghost.
Oh, good. Was that a hunt?
Is this
I don't
second
think
crucifix
so.
out here? Yeah, there's
Should
two
be.
crucifixes. I put them both out. I spaced them out a little.
I always double crucifix.
For safety, of course. Practice safe ghost hunting, everyone.
Yeah.
Safe ghost
But
hunting.
don't wear too Unlike
I'm
condoms, the
up.
crucifixes will not break when they run up against each other. I'll need Jesus.
The way this ghost is giving us nothing.
Alright, fuck this, I'm going back in.
Are we
take
sure
it
this
with me.
isn't a shade?
I already have a camera. Could be a shade.
Feels like a shade.
Let me check temp again, see if it crossed.
Jokes! What?
Damn it.
No! No! Oh. What the heck? We lost one.
We sure did.
The classic distant distorted child weeping sound.
When did that even start? Out here, I guess?
I have a suspicion about Oni. Which could be Dots.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it was a little... she was quite visible, I'm not gonna lie. She was really there. Like, really there. Which means it's either Dots or freezing. Hi. Do you have information? No. Yeah, the more I think about it, she was... There she goes. Oh, wait, that's not a hunt. Why am I being such a van gremlin? Have we gotten freezing at all? Like,
No, not even close.
the rain may fall.
Looks like it could have moved though, so that's Oreo out at least.
I genuinely feel like it's an Oni. That thing was so visible. If she wasn't an Oni, my goodness. Oh. Where is she? Where was she?
Did you get another look? You still think it only?
No, I didn't see her at all. I cycled through every single camera.
Oh, she was right at the front. You didn't use your
Oh,
eyes.
for fuck's sake. Rambler, thank you for the raid. I hope you're well, homie. Welcome to Phasmo. I did not realize she was right near the front. God damn it.
Yeah, all the cold spots are at the front.
I am genuinely willing to bank on Oni if we want to just skedaddle and get to an actual map. A map with
I mean,
sus.
the less time spent in fucking shitwind, the better. So yeah, I'm down with that.
Alright, Markham, let's roll out.
Go with it.
How are you, Rambler? I'm gonna be off the walls drinking coffee this late. What?
I've got some jobs
Damn
ready.
it, there was a spirit.
What?
I never saw it once. So
Every time I
Mark
saw
shade.
it, it looked... What? Have a great dinner, Rambler.
Man, I smudged it and then I got stuck on a log.
I saw that.
Oops.
And went like all the way around the fucking campfire and I made it to hiding, but not fast enough. Are we gonna wait for Erica?
She should be... Is she on her way? Teehee, teehee.
I mean, maybe do a small map. Just pick an array of smaller maps and then.
No need.
Alright, we're here.
No need. We're just on top of it.
Prepare accordingly before starting the
Oh
We're
yeah.
so with it. Baby's first ghost hunt. Let's go.
Ooh, gotta go.
summon. You may be able to use it to your advantage.
Oh, I can take another thing in. What? Exactly. Damn, it's foggy.
Restaurant.
Any ghosts? Any ghosts? Hello, ghosts?
He got cards.
Cads.
Got cards.
Ooh, whispers. Hello? Ghosty?
Excuse me, sorry.
No, there's... Where are you? I think it might be the hallway here. Wait, I thought the Yogscast was the Christmas channel. They do Halloween now too. Girl!
She's definitely here. Anyone got a
She
pic?
hasn't got a face.
What?
Pixar didn't happen.
There's just a big old hole.
Wow, that's not
The
nice.
face is just all areola. It's one giant areola.
Oh,
Damn.
Christ. Don't think the ghost is happy with me.
You think it was something you said?
Nah, I didn't say anything remotely terrible.
Where are you?
Receive education.
Res-
Be educated.
Absorb knowledge by eating it.
Absorb knowledge.
Oh, wait, does that mean it's...
Are you here? Are you close? Where are you?
I know what it is, we can leave.
Are you here? Oh, okay. Goodbye. Did anyone check for orbs yet?
Oh, I just put the thing down, so...
Easy peasy.
Where's the orb?
I don't see an orb.
Then how did I get a scream?
That's good. Well, you don't
Maybe
need
the
an
orb
orb,
is
do you?
right.
I'm trying to rule out mimic.
Oh, right, yeah. Which means
Think
it
we're
would be
good.
dots or, cum.
I'll be dots and cum.
Dots and cum, exactly. Okay.
Oh,
Well.
my favorite combination.
Brilliant. Wow, that was
There's
easy.
nothing in the salt yet.
That was
So,
Take the
great.
easy
no
clap.
pics.
That was easy. Do we want to get a perfect? I mean, this is Tanglewood.
I mean,
She
just
hasn't set
throw
the limit of
down
salt yet.
all the salt and escape EMF.
Do we have the bone?
Easy. No. You look for the bone. I'll.
Split up.
I'll do salt.
I love when a banshee screams! That makes me so happy.
Now remember, being a banshee. I found the bone. Does someone want to take it?
We need camera.
I'm good.
I got a pic. Oh wait, no I don't. I don't know where it is.
Oh, it just threw something. It just.
I was.
I think it's hunting me! No, not again.
Every time we say that, Mousie, it ends up killing someone else because they're like, "Oh, I'm not the target."
It just knocked
Pretty
the picture
consistent.
frame off the wall. Next to me. Literally right next to me.
I mean, it's probably you. Doesn't mean it is you.
Uh-huh, okay.
Okay, Aries ready. So let's finish up our perfect.
I shall hide for
Um,
you.
We just need 1,000. So
You can
remember,
step in the salt. That'd be
um,
awesome.
whoever the target is needs to escape. So hiding isn't going to help if you are the target.
Anyone got a smudge?
Yes.
I have a smudge.
I'm cam
Only
girl.
one person will need it. This was certainly an interesting place. The salt.
It is the little
Or maybe
things in
put it,
life.
like in a choke hole, in a choke area where
Well,
the
it
wall.
is for the couch.
I mean, if whoever's the target's in here, then it will walk through.
What if she wants to fucking unwind and watch Family Guy, alright?
Alright, right,
She's
I'm
so
here.
sure that it's her that she comes over. If it turns out not to be you and Petrock dies again, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, aren't we?
I will indeed LMAO ROFL.
Absolutely. I will rufflecopter into the sky, drinking my lemonade. Hell yeah, those were the days.
Use code LeMayonade for 20% off G Fuel.
Put my old man hat on, sorry.
Okay.
Ghost! Do something!
While we're waiting, who fucked
What's
up
that toy?
this rug? Come on.
Oh, it's
it
cards.
looks terrible.
To be fair, even if it
get a
wasn't
pic of the
stuffed,
card.
it's gonna look terrible. I got the picture of the cards, yeah.
Yeah, but at least then it would fit under all the things.
Oh, she's
Did
gone.
you step on the salt? God damn.
It was the world's shortest jump scare.
Rafflecopter, have not heard that in a while.
Hell yeah! Bring back the oldie goodie stuff.
Tumblr days.
Right, well I'm gonna go into the garage and pull cards, so good luck.
No, we should hide in different places.
Too late.
Have a good one, every fairy dies. Go on, do it.
You good? No? Okay, hi. Why don't you need to escape this? Just say it. Still hunting.
Step in the salt, though.
Still hunting. Get your
What?
smudges out. Get prepared to escape. We got it. Would you like to know a secret?
Did we?
What?
We had a high priestess, you'd have been fine.
Wow! But now we don't know who it was hunting.
Feel free to, you know, if you want.
We'll never
Still need
know!
4 more feet picks, though.
We actually do. Shit. For perfect. Did we get the bone?
Oh, well... yeah, I got the bone.
Well,
We
let's...
just need the photos.
Let's go then. Go on,
Burn some
Petrock.
boxes. I got smudge.
I shall hide.
Remember, whoever's in danger,
Listen to
you're not
that.
in danger.
That's not...
Go get the pictures,
Where's the
Petrock.
camera?
I got a
Give me the camera, because I'm safe. Give me the camera. I can't be killed. Unless someone leaves, obviously. Okay.
I still think it's me that's being hunted.
What salt? Is it just this one that's been taken?
Yeah.
Petra. Are these
Yeah, I took 3 of those.
piles?
It's the only one that's been touched. I took all 3 picks.
What the fuck is another height?
These salt piles are not that. Do you wanna? Let me get something in. That might help.
Does the High Priestess still work if we all stepped outside?
Yeah. Yeah, whoever...
Did anyone die?
No, but it started the hunt right next to me.
I'm alive, bitch. Oh, sing.
Sing.
I don't have the... Oh, there it is. Oh, it's hunting again. Don't die. There goes my hero.
I'll bet it's me. It has to be.
Yay! Photos. Would anyone humour me with a spot of science?
What?
Just real quick. So, I'd be interested to see what happens in this scenario where the target dies. I want to see if it then changes
on,
target
inside.
permanently when you revive.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. I'm willing to
'Cause
die.
I don't know. So whoever we want just one person.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I was the target. She was in the garage.
I'm gonna remove that. We don't need that. So yeah, if we get just one person die, whoever the target is, and then everyone else stay alive, and then we'll see who the target
Well,
is.
Gar, you've been following her. Where's she been more? By the bedrooms or by the garage?
Doesn't really work that way during a hunt. To be honest, it's random.
Well, now we're finally gonna find out. Here we go. It is me! I knew it! Fuck you! Am I safe now? I'm safe now! I'm safe! Hey, I'm safe! Let's go! Oh, I love Banshees!
Is it over?
Yep, it is over.
Okay,
So it did
so-
permanently switch.
Do you want to come out and come back in again? Because you'll.
It did permanently switch.
Will it change to you being the target again? Or will it be someone else? Do you have a smudge with you?
I do.
Okay, that's great. Come
So
with me. To the kitchen.
Yes. For science. Hi, Mango!
On the next hunt, we do science. Let's see if it's you. I'm gonna.
Go hide. I've got this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hide.
Okay, but
It's my time to
Just need to
shine.
see if it's Mousie again or not, and then we know our answer.
Ghosty! Hey, baby. Hello? Hello? I'm over here. Hello? You're definitely on someone else, aren't you? Hello? Yeah, I don't think she's on me.
Ghost?
Hi! Well, she sure as shit ain't on me.
I mean, it could very well. Okay, so that answers what I need to know. It doesn't matter who it's on now. It just answers what I needed to know. That's interesting. We're good for Petrarch. We can leave.
We did it.
We did science.
We did science!
I now know the answer. If that's ever asked. Just a fun little thing to know. It will permanently change the plan.
Perfect game.
Perfect game. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. Let's get area.
How are you, Mango? I love banshees. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh my god, 256 interactions.
She was hooting and hollering.
She was really hooting and hollering. You ever just want to hoot and holler?
Thank you for entertaining that bit of science for me.
Of course.
Curiosity
of
was
course.
piqued.
Absolutely. Hi, Erica.
Welcome, hi.
Yo, what is that? Ferryman of the Drowned? Damn.
Ferryman of the Drowned.
Looks cool as shit.
What does that mean?
Oh, you got that. Nice. Hold on.
Must have been
what
from
is
some
that?
event.
What is that?
Yeah. Special secrets.
Wow, does it work now?
Hi.
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, there we go.
It's for sweaty
Special
tryhards.
secret on the new map.
What the heck?
You have to do a puzzle on the lighthouse.
Oh, right.
Oh.
The puzzle. I completely forgot about that.
Challenge level
Yeah.
impossible.
Oh, yeah.
Willow Street. Ah.
Hey, it's been a while.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. I've got nothing else to report, unfortunately.
I shall take some dots. Willow Street. Don't forget your lighters. Hope you're having a good stream. I'd like to play more CS with you soon. Enjoyed it a lot. Yeah! Please. Please. I loved that. I loved playing with you so much. Have a great evening, my darling. Power is in the garage.
Posters in the here.
In the here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, temp's going down.
Ooh, whispers. Oh, door. We found the ghost, by the way, Erica.
Where?
It's in the first room.
I walked in the front room and was immediately getting blips of the EMF. I was like, oh, okay.
No upflakes.
Not a single one. Do you have the cum light?
I haven't seen any all day.
Could I see that?
I have come light.
Could you check the door? Might be too. Oh, come,
Are you-
come,
Yeah,
come!
yeah.
Nice.
We have come!
Are you here?
Oh, you're in the room.
Are you close?
Erica,
Where
you're in
are
the room.
you? Are you here?
Erica's in the room.
Are you
So,
close?
sorry, I have
Are you
my
here?
my settings have been changed.
Get out!
Oh my god, Petrock! Everyone! Out of
What? I gotta put my salt down, alright? I didn't know he was doing a test.
I'll be in the van.
Oh my god, everyone's having pizza tonight.
Where are you? Are you here?
We got cum, by the way.
Where are you? There's absolutely nothing from that.
Come.
Noise.
Just come. Just delicious wall come, door come.
As you do.
Just normal, you know.
Just snap a pic.
Oh yeah, you
Wipe it
can.
on the door.
Here. I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
Hot.
How is she gonna do it?
Right on the glass. Right in front of my salad.
I just realized I can't see UV through the parabolic glass.
You guys not get that reference?
Of course we get it.
Just no one laughs. So you... What the fuck is this? Kong? Hello?
It's a cat toy. It's an homage to one of the
is it?
dev's cats.
Okay. It looks so out of place.
It's an homage. It's right next to the cat stuff.
Oh shit, bone. Pelvic bone.
Anyone need a pelvis?
Anybody want a pelvic thrust? Mine now.
This is more of a pelvic floor, right? On the floor.
Power bottom.
Oh, writing.
That bad boy.
Oh.
Should be able to get 2
Oh.
out of that. Second for the.
Okay, for the interaction.
This. It's on.
Fuck, was it downstairs?
So weird.
Why?
Downstairs.
Why was it downstairs?
Well, that was fun.
If it was downstairs, then surely it's not miling, right?
Well, we can't
could
tell.
hear
Between
We get more
floors, it's a
salt.
little bit wobbly.
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
do any muting through floors, which is kind of annoying. What?
Got the lyric song. It really drives me.
Mega roaming? That was so weird.
I feel like a demon would have eaten the fuck out of the crucifixes by now.
I mean, not if it's downstairs.
True. I'm gonna get a flashlight to set up a miling fest.
I'm setting up a holy ring around the dining table.
Slay. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci
I mean,
gang, Gucci, Gucci, Gucci
We've
gang.
had some. I mean, Mousie will tell you about weird demons.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I always
Down
double
here.
Oh, I think
Only just realised what you meant, but don't forget your life.
Oh,
It's not a miling.
not a bolty. I don't know if anyone has timers. You're smudging.
Why?
I hit a timer.
I don't know. You smudged.
Why?
Damage
Why?
your
I didn't
smudulation.
click anything. What? I guess that's much as used.
Yeah, not a Polty. It did fuck all to the.
It was quiet, but like...
Yeah.
It disturbed it a little
Hard
bit, but
to really tell. Milings are rough on this map.
Yeah, it was
I think
quiet,
the
but
best thing to do is to be in the living room with the doors shut and hope it doesn't come in and just sort of observe, but it's kind of rough.
There's also the parabolic. Cheers.
Yeah, that's the thing. That can work too.
Me doing the door. I'm sorry.
Why is it in the basement?
Well, I have my suspicions after that.
Demon?
That's all it can really be, I think.
It's a
Didn't
demon.
sound abnormal. I think so.
It has to be because it passed the miling test.
Yeah. It sounded like it faded in perfectly normally to me.
Yep, same.
From where I was, I shouldn't have heard it come up the stairs, I don't think.
Yeah.
It hit the top step, and I was hearing it fine.
What a
don't
weird
think
ass
it's
demon.
It's rough. It's not
He's on a
100%,
diet.
but I'm pretty sure it's a demon.
Alright.
Unlike me, my
Mark.
fat ass eating pizza.
You can't say that with me in the room. That's basically offensive.
Yeah.
I'm like all three of you at once. Probably.
yeah.
Hey. I am a lot of muscle.
Look, I couldn't eat pizza yesterday because I had a shoot today. Let me have my pizza today.
Oh, yeah.
You had a shoe?
Like I said, Saturday's always pizza day.
Shoot.
Like
Oh, the
pastry
shoe.
shoe? Oh, shoot. Okay. I thought you meant like pastry shoe or like cream puff.
What?
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
It
A bizarre
was a
little demon.
demon! What was going on?
Nothing, that's the issue.
I'd say it's the strangest demon I've ever seen, but you're here, so...
Ghost type, demon. Prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. Failed.
Yeah, that's insane. Actually insane.
I mean, it just sort of ran downstairs and got scared of us, I think. What a strange little... strange little ghost. So I was coming and went, nope. Not today.
I hate dealing with this shit. Fuck
Absolutely. Mood, honestly.
that. Fuck that. Oh, good. Sunny Meadows restricted.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment.
Home sweet home.
Before starting the investigation.
Yay! We love here.
We love here. West Virginia.
The ghost was summoned here. Take a look.
Blue Ridge Mountain.
Bow, 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 bow. Lighter. Dots.
Found the phone.
No way!
This is the one.
What area is it?
It's downstairs. Ghost heard about.
It's cold.
It's on the left.
To the left, to the left. Hmm. Any ghosties? Oh, hello. I found it. It's one of these.
Hello, ghost.
This one.
Hello, ghost.
Oh, UV.
Come!
Hey, come. We love cum.
We do love cum.
Any coomers?
Wife is thrilled about the whole screen back.
Touch it again.
Gonna go get more stuff.
Can you turn the light on in the hallway?
Oh no. Do we have the power?
Normal.
I mean, you were
cum.
down there first. Did you turn it on? No.
In the closet. Let's.
It is now on.
Thank you. Is this hiding? Good. Oh, good. Nice. Just threes. All fingerprints are still normal. A camera, no tripod? What the heck?
Well, because this
Forgot,
is for the.
okay,
This is
I'm
for
Oh, 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 oh. Still normal. Yep.
Where are you? What do you want? How old are you? Hello? What? This is not. What? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? What do you want?
Yeah, true.
How old are you?
Atmospheric.
Hmm.
Someone else can try if they want, but it didn't work.
Yeah, just in case the ghost is sexist.
Are you here?
Writing.
Where are you?
Oh, we're here again.
Don't worry about that.
Where-
We just get ghost writing.
Yep, go for it.
Jesus. I can't see for shit. Where is hiding? Is this hiding?
There's not a tripod in here. Oh, it's trying to kill me.
I forgot, I'm sorry.
I'm set up for a miling test.
Do you believe it? Is it haunted?
Nope. I'm just getting ready for hiding
Same.
spots when it does.
There's a
The
hiding.
lights off. What?
It kicked the lights off, I think.
Dickhead.
I know, right? First it's getting cum all over the walls, now this. My gosh. What's next?
Restart pictures are done.
Next it will show the passionate opinions on Yog Ventures. You're so right. Wee woo?
Increase fixes. I'm gonna start moving some of these wee-woos out of the way so I can hunt. Did someone get the lights back on, please? I'm gonna bring another smudge so we can smudge the area and cross it off. Anyone like? Plug it in. This one has.
Guard, can you explain the miling thing on the parabolic again?
That should be good. There we go. Right. Let me get the lights on again.
Where are you at?
Hi, what the fuck just happened? It was quiet as shit.
It was hunting. Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like it was steppies for a while, but I'm not sure. So the sound scoop.
Yeah.
The two.
Hunting.
I have the sound scoop.
It's right here.
Not a man.
Yeah, no, I can hear that as well.
Yeah, so the
With
two
me.
lower rings.
It's the 15-meter one, right?
And yeah, so the lower ring is I think 10 meter. The other one's I think 15 meters. So if it's between there and you turn it off and you don't hear it,
Alright,
it's
so
probably
no.
a miling.
That
If you can hear it, I mean, I was hearing it well beyond the range of those rings, so
Right, okay.
it's not a miling.
Okay.
So I need to get the bell. Actually, I need to get the bell. Ah,
Has anyone done any smudge timer shenanigans?
Nope, I don't even have a smudge.
I got a smudge, but I'm gonna smudge the area.
Could this be a wonky demon again?
I marked demon just because it hunted kind of 2 times in a row and was off the crucifixes. I'm gonna bring the bell down and see if it starts hammering it. For fuck's sake, what happened
y'all. Nuts. Bell. Lots of bell. More cowbell. More cowbell. Come on. Well.
It's over.
Cleanse the area near the ghost using incense.
Yeah, Gar's doing it right now. I literally forgot the lighter.
You got it.
And relieved. I mean, I could. I've just smudged it if someone wants to start a wonky 60-second timer.
I've just hit the timer then.
I'm gonna stay in and see when it hunts. I don't need to be down there though.
Cool. I'll watch the camera as well. And
Pretty sure this is a demon though, because it was not interested in that bell.
that's so sad. It dinged it a little bit, but you know, not as much as we would have liked.
So when I've had polties before doing the bell test, as I call it, it's like ding 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 as it runs through.
Pretty much exactly on the dot. That's a demon.
What's the time?
Basically 60 seconds.
That's what I thought. From where I was hiding, I could hear its footsteps through the sound sensor in the van.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a demon.
Ugh.
Another boring, shitey demon.
Ugh. Ugh. Everyone mark it.
Thanks, Alex Williams. Ugh.
Does everyone have it marked?
There's a video. There's a video of a killer whale taking a shit at a SeaWorld show and then splashing it on the audience like a minute later.
Hell yeah. I'll learn them.
What is it with us getting demons?
I
My kind of
joined,
whale.
and then immediately just 2 back-to-back shy demons. I don't know what that says about me.
Who knows?
If they're scared of me, they're scared of the wrong person.
Fridge view! Is it your inner demon? Is it your inner demons manifesting again?
You know what? That would make sense. My inner demon would be very shy.
I shall check the garage. Power's in the garage. Power's on.
I'm not
Look who it is.
Forgot no lighter.
Levitating.
Levitating. It's not levitating for me.
Oh, I'll have to take a picture of this then. Hold on.
Host privileges.
It might be upstairs, but I think it's too early to call.
Hey, I put a screenshot of what the dolls do.
Yeah, I think it's here, because
I don't think we have the power on yet, even.
We do. I put the power on. I did. I put the power on.
It was garage. Okay, sorry.
I was too enthralled by the floating.
No
fucking-
one listens to Mousie. No, I get it.
Yeah, it's definitely this hallway. It's noticeably colder than the others. So yeah.
I mean, there is breath, but. Probably
Well, it's not just that temp
Oh, we
meter.
have voodoo doll, by the way.
We know. Believe me, we know.
There's already a screenshot of it levitating in the Discord. So. Oh, I haven't paid attention. So it seems. There's a lot of that going around, apparently.
Oh my god, I thought that was the ghost that was.
Me eepy. Whoa! What the heck?
What is this coming up? Jesus Christ! Get the shit out of me.
Ballin'. Ooh.
Once again,
Whispers right next to me. Hi.
being no upflakes.
Check this way. Miyazaki, thank you so much for your prime.
I don't think I'm seeing a single upflake today, and I'm kind of sad.
Oh, that's a shame. Whoa, what did it just throw?
A little upflake. I don't know. I was angry about it. Eesh.
Not seeing any cum. Oh, come! Come!
What a story in 2 parts.
Come!
Let me get a picture.
We've got cum!
Nice.
We already got a picture of it.
You get a pic? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just took one. I'm gonna do some.
Oh,
Oh,
feet?
instantly stepped into this.
all
Oh,
this.
Any feet? No feet. What the heck? What the heck?
Sometimes it needs like a second set of steps before you see feet. I didn't hear the second step. You'll need to all clear out of the.
Could you bear with me? Wait, did it just touch this? Where's the EMF? No fingerprints.
Oh. It's definitely this.
Yes. Wait. Oh, it was this. It was this door. Damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry. The heck? Now I touched this.
Hello, sir.
I'll go stand in this
Hi,
room.
sir.
Thank you for throwing your prime at us.
Are you in here? Are you in the room? Okay. Are you here?
Bro?
Like those questions. I'm gonna get smudged.
I think that'd be wise, honestly. My god.
I swear to God, if that foot just ruined it.
Got no second evidence to take it. How are we doing on the freezing?
Well, it just threw the book.
Hey, we're done with 3-star pick. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
It's really warm. It's really warm in that hallway. Do you have a smudge? Has it changed room?
It's freezing. What do you mean?
What? It was 15 degrees when I checked!
It's minus 3.9.
It was, I swear to God.
This guy. Ugh.
Actually, I'm getting a lantern. I'm getting a smudge.
Freezing, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Demon enjoyers.
Oh,
triple
look at that! It
demon
can be a
enjoyers,
demon again.
Triple demon enjoyers.
Unbelievable.
I'm marking demon just because it'd be funny. Can you imagine?
Bringing moonlight.
You need still. Oh, we can't get photo anymore. We took too many pictures.
Oh no.
Yeah. I didn't realize we needed a photo.
Couldn't we delete a photo?
One job!
I was on the salt
No,
brand.
no, you can only delete, failed photos.
Shit. Hello, is this only demons? It sure is.
Are there any more of those crucifixes to go off? Because I'm waiting for the ghost to hunt, really. Crucifix just went off. Yeah, but is that the last one, yeah? Ah, not a gin. That helps. Yeah,
I swear to God.
It's in the last crucifix. Thank you.
Can you pick somewhere to put that camera?
I'm checking to make sure there isn't an orb.
Put it in the corner there and I can swing back and forth between.
I had a thorough look earlier and there wasn't an orb, so I'm down to 2 demon hands.
I'm gonna say it's a demon again.
It probably is, let's be honest.
I mean, if it ain't fast and slow, it's definitely a demon.
Alright, get hunting then.
I'm gonna start just putting pins.
Slay. The fuck? What was it?
One hand too bullied.
I did sound fast when it spawned.
Why is he playing with the elderly?
Demon dream is dead.
That's just what I do, baby.
It's called enrichment. Look it up.
They're coming out, right? Oh yeah,
Enrichment. Enriching the elderly.
yeah. I'm just making sure they're getting their steps in. You know, they've got to keep their mind and body.
Oh,
We all got our hands.
they meant the ghost. I thought they meant Gark with the elderly.
Yep.
I mean,
Wow!
that's it. Blind leading the blind and all that.
Needs yakety sax playing for that, honestly.
The ugly, come on.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Yay! No one found the bone.
Oh, good. I love that. I
We
love it.
we weren't getting perfect anyway because there was a
Missing
no photo.
objective.
The
Yeah.
ghost.
Ugh.
I love bullying hand twos. They're great.
Until they, you know,
And it was speed
eat your
up.
ass. Like.
Hey, listen,
Sorry
if
for
you want to enjoy yourself on a Saturday, what better way than a hand to eating your ass, apparently.
This is what we get. This is what we get.
I think my joke sent us to prison.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking as well.
The game red
That
card.
was exactly
red
what I was
card.
I
saying.
didn't even hear the joke. I was too far away.
Oh, it was just a ghost eating my ass joke. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just normal thing.
You know what? I don't want to hear the joke anymore.
For the best. I don't think you picked up a lighter, by the way.
I don't. I kind of, until I'm ready to use one, I get confused with my, so
The heck
used
was
to where
that?
the 3 slots are.
What in the fuck? We're not here to shame.
It's down here, right?
What do you mean down here?
I checked the mirror. I'm sure where I just saw was down here somewhere.
I'm gonna go check upstairs in the offices to see if the power is, you know. We're not here to shame, we aren't. News to me.
I think it might be
Power's on.
there.
Power's that office that's like behind the gates. You know what I mean?
Found the soap, guys.
What do you mean upstairs? Are you sure?
Could have been around here, maybe.
The power's back here. Oh, don't tell me it's this back room. Ugh. No, no.
No, it's not here. Where was all that I just saw?
What did you
That's
see?
interesting. So I saw what looked like the row. There was a water cooler against the wall,
Oh, wait.
and there was what looked like these.
Is that not? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Run faster!
I forgot the complete layout of prison.
Is it not this place right here?
Walking
No.
around.
You said water cooler.
A room.
Then is it not like one of the? Were there computers?
No. Not that I saw. I've pulled it a couple of times now. To pull it again.
Are we sure it's upstairs?
And it's not in here? There's a water cooler here.
It could be down here. I'm a little unsure.
Can I check?
All I saw was the water cooler and some lockers.
Oh, I heard it. I heard a door.
Yep, I think it's this front
Oh,
room.
you used a mirror, right?
It's this room. It's literally the first room, y'all. Garg, all I had to do was look once as well, and I could immediately clock it. It's like,
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Dark's washed up.
Yeah. I need to take pills because I am gonna cause a problem.
oh. Speaking of.
Oh well, that's a problem for other people. Goodbye. Sure, those. Grab some of this. Grab one of you.
I've medicated back up, so we should be in too much danger.
Who breaks a light bulb?
Petrock, please pause the thing when you place them down.
I placed that down.
I did not place that down.
That was
Oh,
me.
it was you! Got me in trouble. Do we have a
My
camera for
god, please.
Oh, it broke the lights out here, didn't it? Idiot.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, where's the cum light? It just knocked on a window. Cum light, over here. Where's the cum
If
light?
it hasn't moved, obviously.
Where's the
I
cum
don't
light?
have one.
I don't have it.
It has come.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm sure I saw one in.
It's Erica. Can you come check this window? It might be too late. Come! Come!
Come!
Come!
Delicious. What?
I need to grab a camera.
Well, it's not a wraith. Not that it would be anymore.
Is this just
Hello.
one giant room then?
No, this is.
No,
this
this is a separate room. It's just a bit roomy.
wondering.
What? Why? Well, because this room is also cold.
It can be cold. It's fine.
Yeah, it could just be roomy. If it's moved rooms, for example, it goes between rooms. It'll take a while for the levels to balance out, so it could just be.
Oh, okay.
moved
Yeah, this one
recently
is
or-
starting to get lower, I guess. It's hovering around 2.2 now.
Let's do some of this. Are you here? Where are you?
Thank you, Hanar, for
Yeah.
143 months. Where did I put my parabolic?
Geek job.
If it throws the book,
Right
it means
here,
it can't
Mousie.
be right,
Thank you.
right?
It's not that it. Well, it's not going to give us right. It can be right. It's a bit nervous, but. Right. But it means you don't need to.
Mate, we need to capture a photo of the ghost!
This fucking
No!
guy.
Zoe, thank you for the raid!
Petrock, why?
This guy.
It's prison, and I'm not hunting for a bone on prison, so whatever.
This guy. This guy.
Thanks getting everything else again.
I'm on the salt
Maybe
grind,
we can
alright?
go around and have a look for no, we're not doing it.
Hello, thank you for gifting us up to Zoe. Zoe, I hope you had a good stream. Thank you for raiding. Oh. La la la. I had to continue the spoopy vibes over
Right
here.
now I'm fucked, because I have no idea where the hiding is.
Penance. That's what we like to call that. Eric!
What is smudging again? You gotta sort your keybinds out. Sheep.
No, that was. that was me right clicking.
That wasn't a keybind problem. That was just my finger just going for the right click.
Did you use the smudge?
Call it ADHD is what it is. But my finger wanted to stim.
I see. Do you know that the ghost stepped in the salt?
Did it?
Stepped in the salt. Place, in case you weren't sure.
Wow. I love that we wrote this every single time on a post-it note.
The ghost stepped in the salt. The ghost stepped in the salt. The ghost stepped in the salt.
The ghost stepped in the salt.
Let's call it what it is. This is Petrock.
Thanks,
writing it
Microsoft
down.
text to speech.
come.
Okay, done that, but what do we have for evidence?
That's it. All we have is come.
Where's hiding?
Pray.
Oh, great.
Theoretically, yes. I think the lockers might have things in them, and also trying to kill me.
Is there any way we can put the camera into like the actual corner of the room instead of dead center so that I can see the whole thing in case it's like dots? That's perfect. Thank you. Is it still that room?
Yeah, well, I'm leaving if you want to check for what you know.
Yeah.
It is still in the room.
We were just coming to the same conclusion at the same time in here as well, so...
I'm already there.
Come on, dots. Do the thing. Don't be boring. Well, it's definitely still in there.
Yeah, I checked temp.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it just walked through the motion sensor. But will it do dots? That is the question. Oh. Child. It's a child. Oh god. Why did it look like it was floating there for a second? Well, Godspeed. Oh, I can see them in the other room. Oh no. Ghosty with the mosty. Come on.
Did we get any information out of that?
Not really, no.
Hunt speed is normal, but that's about the only thing I can tell. I mean, we know it's not a mimic, but...
We've checked Spirit Box, right?
I've tried it a couple of times, if someone wants to do it again.
I'm on my way to try.
It just offended on me across the hall by the stairs.
Oh, it is hunting, I think. Oh, no, it isn't. Never mind. Sorry.
Try and make a multi-pile.
What the hell is going on? getting anything. If it's dots, I'm gonna lose, like, genuinely lose my mind.
Over?
I have no
Yeah, it's
idea.
over.
I have not seen any dots. I genuinely don't know what, like, this second piece of evidence could be, but we're missing something, clearly. The thing is that it started its hunt in that room every time, so, like, Goryo is still very much on the table, and that's really pissing me off. Are we positive it's still that room?
100%.
Ugh! I hate being a van gremlin. For the love of fuck. Please. Be so for real.
It's smudged. Just now.
Alright, I'll get a timer going. Can someone check that door? Make sure there's still fingerprints. I think I see fingerprints.
Yeah, there are fingerprints.
I'm gonna lose my mind. I need this ghost to change rooms so that I can stop watching these fucking dots.
I mean, I could swap with you if you want.
Could you move the camera a little bit forward so that I'm not seeing, like, most of the desk in front of me? That works perfectly, thank you.
What could it be?
It's the fact that it's not changed, like, room that's really pissing me off. Because if it's...
Hmm? Has anybody gotten an EMF reading during a hunt?
The only thing that, like, confuses
Oh,
me
what
is
do you
that the other room, the front room, was cold. No, but you saw this room in the mirror, right?
Yeah, this was the room. This was definitely the room. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, the temp's been
Immediately
low there
clocked
the
it.
entire time.
It's starting the hunt in this fucking room again. I swear to God. I've not seen dots at all, but it's not moved from this room. What's the difficulty? Nightmare. We're seasoned hunters, and this one's pissing us off.
You haven't seen a single
I thought-
glorb.
Not a single
Wasn't the
glorb.
dots thing fixed? Or
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
Goryo
mean it's
thing,
not,
or
like,
was it not?
mind-numbing. Like, it was somewhat fixed. I don't trust it. When it's Goryo, I don't trust shit. It's the way it's given us nothing else.
What were we at on time?
Sorry, say that again?
What were we at on the time?
2 minutes 30. Oh wait, that's what it is now, sorry.
No, it's about a minute 30, so probably not a demon. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
down to 4 at this point. But Polty Banshee, Goryo, Arbake.
My problem with the idea that it could be a banshee... Oh, it's hunting. He's not gonna hear me. There's not been a single orb or anything. And there's not been dots. So, like...
Has it eaten a crucifix yet?
Yes. It certainly has. Banshee...
Okay, yeah,
Right.
sorry.
My concern with the idea that it might be Banshee is that it would give, like, a dot or like, dots or orb, you know? I don't think we're getting dots, is what I'm saying. Because even if it's... Unless it's still fucked. Like, if for some reason on this map it might be... Hi.
I mean, it could just honestly be fucked. The fact that it hasn't...
It's not
Like,
moved
it's always
from that
coming
room.
out of that room, right?
It's always coming
Yeah.
out of this room. Always.
Yeah.
Why is it... No one's in there! How is it hunting?
Good luck, buddy.
There's no one in... Oh, we are so glitched out.
Yeah, I think Goryo and leave. I mean, we haven't had an opportunity to check much with Banshee, but
I was checking with the parabolic, but here's the thing: if it's this room, we should have gotten dots by now. We should have gotten an orb. Those are the other two things for Banshee.
Yeah.
Like.
But we know how dots are.
Yeah, I know.
The fact it's not giving us anything else. I mean, we've had a lot of EMF.
The fact that it's hunting with
we
no
know
one in the building is sending me. That shouldn't be happening. There's clearly
it's
something
definitely
going
not gonna
wrong.
be ghostwriting.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty scuffed.
I think this
So
might be...
it's almost certainly going to be dots.
Could it
at
be
which
Jin?
point
Has it kicked the power off at all?
No, I tested for Jin. It didn't.
Oh.
It didn't do line of sight.
And
It's not a phantom. It's not a
phantom.
hand it's not a myling.
It hasn't shapeshifted
So I'm
at
literally
all.
down to the 4. I haven't seen. Well, I haven't checked it much to see for shapeshifting. But
I've only seen
had a
it
lot
as a
of
baby.
UV. Had a lot of UV, so likelihood is probably a Goryo.
This
I
feels...
think we just have to sort of gamble on that.
I say we gamble on Goryo and get the fuck off this map. I am so over this.
And then we'll have time for one more.
Yep, alright. Everyone, mark whatever your heart desires. I'm going with Goryo. If it's a Banshee, I'm gonna be heartbroken, but fuck this. Let's see.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
Yep,
One evidence in a dream, baby.
Yep.
Always.
it's always fucking
There's one evidence in a
Goryo.
dream. It's a
Why
fucking
is it
Goryo.
always
Hate
fucking
them.
Goryo?
They suck. They are ass.
Why? Why are Goryos still so fucking broken? I don't understand.
I told you they're ass. They're the worst. I'm gonna BRB when we spawn in. So I'll go do that now. And yeah.
Oh my god. Petrock, you ready? Slay. Ah, good sweet farmhouse. Finally, some wholesome farm time. Please. Get me out of this van. I'm done being in the van. God. It's always fucking Goryo. I swear to God. Stardew Valley Halloween update is weird. Oh yeah? Power's on. Oh, whispers right in front of me. Hello, are you in here?
Are you downstairs?
Yeah, I think it's here. I think I found the room.
Oh yeah, it's cold. Noticeably colder.
Can't blame Goryo for being a Goryo. What, a pain in the ass?
Is anybody there? Someone who could rescue a great.
Where are you? What do you want? How old are you? Where are you? What do you want? How old are you? Where are you? How close are you? How old are you? What do you want? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you?
Walk back into the bathroom because this room includes these parts. And this is where I heard the...
Where are you?
Sorry.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Who'd you go to prom with?
Where are you?
Okay, I think
Where are
that's... enough of that. I cannot eat, I cannot sleep tonight. Wow, the way it's giving us a whole lot of nothing. Did you turn the light on in the bathroom? Was that you? Come!
Tell me.
Come! We've been blessed with cum. Also not a mare.
Praise the Lord.
I hate it when there's cum on the light switch. I know, right? Well, it's certainly cold as shit, isn't it?
Wee bit nippy.
Just a little bit.
Guys, we do indeed have to capture a photo of the ghost.
It seems to favor the back bathroom, I'm not gonna lie. But it's all one room, so... The way it's giving us nothing though now.
Pretty god if it's another Goryo.
Dots.
In person dots, I presume.
Yes, I actually saw the dots in front of me.
Okay, do we have anything else, or?
Come. I know what it is.
Okay, well, good job, gamers.
Is it done?
We've got like 6 minutes. Do we want to try and go for perfect? We do need a photo of the ghost.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, perfect.
I know. I checked.
I love banshees!
Did you get the Banshee scream then?
Yes, whenever I say I know what it is, I think it's safe to assume that it's a banshee.
I don't even need to see that she's holding a scoop to know what it is.
Did we find the bone yet? If we're gonna go for perfect.
I do not have a torch for that.
I think that's a no.
Extra didn't happen, dude.
Since it's a banshee, everyone needs to be inside. Love a good old banshee scream. It's my favorite thing. The banshee is actually my favorite ghost. It is the reason why I have this parabolic every single time.
Dude, we got 2 photos left. We have 1 because we took a picture of the bone.
Okay, so just no more pictures until it's the ghost.
Perfect. Everyone grab a camera. Light up.
This is my weekly.
I mean, we do know that. I mean, if we find out who the target is, then we can very freely take photos.
I heard the scream again.
I mean,
We can take 3 photos and just delete them as we go. If they're wrong. So we need to find out who the target is first. What's our toy?
Where's hiding, anyways?
Anyone find toy? Cards!
The hell? Oh, fucking Christ!
Where was she?
Got
Did
it.
you get it? Hey!
Holy shit!
Nice!
Easy peasy.
To cleanse an average sanity.
can someone cleanse the room or be ready? Oh no, I've got a smudge. Oh, we need to drop our sanity. I just said that, but fuck me. I'm just pulling cards. Be careful.
I'ma sit in the dark.
Does the random ghost like that go for the target?
Say again, sorry?
Well,
Yes.
the random ghost apparition, does that go for the target?
Oh, I no.
Theoretically, yes.
If it's theoretically yes, then I'm the target because it went straight for me.
Then you need to be in here
You
and
need to be
hiding.
inside and hiding, then.
I'm inside and I am hiding.
Just heard it scream again. Who's walking around?
Below 25%.
Oh, perfect. Let's get out.
No, we still need to cleanse the area near the ghost.
Who's? Wait a minute.
I got one.
only got a scream for the first time in a recent game. It's so good, isn't it? It's so good. The first time I ever got it, I was hooked. The parabolic has been my main squeeze every single time.
Okay, so where is it now? Oh my god.
Truck did it me.
Okay, we have 1 spot left.
It's on the floor in the middle of the room at the entrance. I'm hiding.
Whoever keeps walking around, I swear it screamed on me. Hello! What's good? For once, I'm not the target! Yay! For once, I'm not the target! Let's fucking go! Hey, baby. Hey, hey. Where'd she go? Oh,
Over
shit.
gamers, let's get out of here. Oh, 2 options. Either I was the target, or Petrock was the target, and was not in the house.
No, it worked normally. It worked normally. It worked normally.
If the target is not in the house, it hunts normally.
It hunted
Okay.
normally because I was up walking around the ghost. I followed the ghost around. So the target was in
So
the
I
house.
was the target then.
Yeah, then you were.
Why would I not be the target?
Oh, you tell me, but it was definitely going for me. It sped up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That's what I mean. The events theoretically should be going for the target, but in my experience, it just doesn't. It just seems random.
Fair enough.
It feels very random, honestly. But yeah, I decided to get up and chance it, and I chased her around. Wore my electronics and everything.
It's a
Yeah.
good job it wasn't Petrock, because you would have died.
Yeah, I would have been fucking dead. I thought he was in the house. Truthfully. Alright, Markham. We've been blessed with 2 banshees today. This is great.
Welcome back. There's some
If
jobs to
only.
do.
If
Apparently
only.
was my first Banshee clear.
Really?
Oh. And I ironically just unlocked the tier 3 parabolic from that.
I just got the crucifix. I've unlocked everything for
Nice.
this level.
Yay!
We love to see it.
The classic press leave button.
Oh my god. Well, that was good fun. Oh,
Hell
to
yeah,
end on a
love me a
banshee as well. Oh, I love Phasmo.
Perfect banshee.
Perfect
Update
banshee.
soon. Couple
All
of
right.
weeks.
Have a lovely evening, everyone. Do we have a moderator in the
Have a good
chat? To pick some Yagi to raid, and while we do
Mod
that,
check.
can we sound off? Garg, where can people find you?
Twitch, Garg Flaps. Or I should have done the I'm Sean Bean thing that he did last week. He did that to me.
What do you mean what he did? Weren't you here last week?
Yeah, and Sean said Garg's channel instead of his own.
Yeah, he promoted my
No, I
channel as
wasn't doing
him.
that,
So
right?
I'm Sean Bean. We go there, and that's me definitely.
Erica.
Yeah, I'm Erica. My name's hard to type, so please look on the screen. Oh no, it's not invisible, I think.
Hold
I'll
on,
type
hold
in
on.
chat.
It's right there.
Yeah, that one.
And I thank you for gifting us up to Nitro. That's very kind of you. And Petrock is Petrock.
Yep.
And you can find me over at twitch.tv/Mousie. It's been good. It's been great. Very much appreciate it. Nitro, could you find someone to raid for me? This has been great. I'm glad I got to play with all of you. I'm glad we got to play with Tom finally. This was fun. I will not be around next week. I've got other things I've got to do. So Saturday Spookems will return the week after next. So, yeah.
Saturday Spookems will return in Avengers Endgame.
I think that has passed. We're already near. I think we're already in phase 5.
Have a great night. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.